Greetings, brothers and sisters. Some of you know me, some of you don't. But today, while I was watching Brother Dan this morning, this is the second day he seemed like he was really down. And he's not the only person I've seen that's had themselves brought down over passing what everybody's considering a piece of trumpets. I'd like to put a little bit of context in here that should encourage everybody. I'm not very good at this, so you'll have to bear with me. Um, I'd like to go ahead and start by reading Revelation chapter 12. This is verse 1. This is where everybody's been for the last couple of weeks. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. Now that's what we just saw, the big sign that Brother Patrick's brought to our attention. But to think of that as the Rapture verse is suspicious. It's odd to me, is what I mean. Because if you read these events, they take place in chronological order. And the Rapture occurs in verse 5, where it says, "And she brought forth a male child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne." Now that's the Rapture, which means there were two verses that in between what we have just witnessed and then the Rapture. Now the two verses we were skipping past are Revelation 12:3 and 4. "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, who was ready to be delivered, to devour her child as soon as it was born." Now, a lot of people haven't seen that sign in the sky, but it definitely states that it's supposed to appear in the sky the same way that the woman did. Alright, before I go into this, though, I would like to give a little bit of context. See, we needed all the signs that we've had now in order to pinpoint where we are located biblically. We've got the Revelation 12 sign that took place in 2017 that showed us what to look for with the woman. And there was another brother who doesn't have a lot of views, he doesn't have a lot of subscribers, so I'm guessing a lot of people haven't seen it, but his channel name is Worship and Watch. He has discovered the Revelation 12:3 sign. He goes into detail, and I will link the video that he's made so that everybody can see this. It's absolutely the Revelation 12:3 sign. So, to go one step further, he then looked up where Nishimura, the comet that Brother Patrick has also brought to our attention, and again, the comet was just discovered last month, so we couldn't have even looked for this thing. And the original Revelation 12:3 sign takes place on 6/24/21. And again, this brother explains it extremely well. But at the dragon's tail, you have Nishimura. That's where it was in 2021. And then you've got the fact that we saw it, and it was a green color, which I'll include some pictures for, and then it changed instantaneously to red. That, to me, is a confirmation, after seeing it at the tail of the dragon, that it is indeed the dragon's tail drawing a third of the stars. That's the next sign we should be looking for. Now, I'd like to draw your attention real quick to Revelation 12:4. It says, "A tail, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, who was ready to be delivered, to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, this verse has a couple of things that I've noticed. The first is that in Revelation 1, I believe it is. Yeah, Revelation 1:20. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden lampstands. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 lampstands which thou sawest are the 7 churches. Now, that shows that the Lord uses the term star and angel interchangeably at times. If that's the case, you could reread Revelation 12:4 as, and his tail drew the third part of the angels of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. Now we know Lucifer has drawn a third of the angels from heaven. That's what the war is about, the betrayal. So, my guesstimate would be that that's talking about fallen angels, and it says being cast to the earth. They were already cast from the third heaven to the second heaven. Now they're being cast directly to the earth. To me, this reads like what we would call an alien invasion. And then, if you read where it says, the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to be delivered. Now, I'm not sure how many people have had babies as a part of the body. I know there's some younger people, and then there's a bunch of older people, and then people in the middle. But when you're ready to be delivered, that's basically you've dilated all the way, and you maybe even see a crowning happen. And yesterday, if you pull up Stellarium, the child comet who has now exited the womb part of Virgo has just about enough out for the top part of the head. So what I'm guessing is we watch and wait for that child to be completely born, not just as it exits the womb area, but until it's completely almost clear of Virgo. And then you would have the child being born, or her bringing forth a male child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and to the throne. When that asteroid child is fully born, should be when we are raptured out of here. Now, we take into context that this could be a Jubilee year. A lot of people are talking about it. The math seems to add up, but I've seen it add up before, so take it with a grain of salt. But the moon was originally sighted, to my understanding, on the 16th. And we push all of those back to 10 days to where the Feast of Trumpets, the Days of Awe, and the Day of Atonement would all fall on the 26th of this month. So there's another potentially extremely high watch date. And then, if it's not an alien invasion we're looking for, and it's actually stars that are going to fall, we do have in early October the Draco meteor shower, which can be considered the dragon's tail pulling a third of the stars. So we still have a lot to look forward to. We're not going backwards, family. We're going forward, and we're going forward real quick. There's not going to be years worth of gap this time. This sign is the time clock. When Patrick found it and noticed that the child was there with the child in the womb, it reads in chronological order for Revelation 12:1 through 5. And 5 is our exit, guys. I hope this is able to encourage some of you to hang in there, stick it out. We are really almost done. The Lord is coming. He's coming fast. And he gave us the exact spot in the book where we're at right now. Revelation 12:4, waiting on the stars to fall. Keep your heads up, family. We're going home.